What's good, people? Sports Debate Tuesday. Wait a second. Is this Rob McLean? Is this Rob McLean? Let me turn on this Facebook Live. Is this Rob
Studio.
McLean in studio drinking water, roasted marshmallows, singing camp songs? We're gonna find out. The episode starts right now. Yo, what's up, people? This is episode 93. This is Sports Debate Tuesday, along with my man. I got to put it on split screen for this. Along with my man, Rob. Keep it. McLean. McLean. I'm Jason DeBillius. I'm your host with the most, and welcome to our episode. And we have a lot to talk about. This was definitely the weekend of upsets, as I'm just going to cue your camera shot to the middle. I should have done that before, but I'm on that California nonsense. That whole get your stuff together stuff. Look at that. Oh, there it is. All right. So, what a great weekend, huh? The weekend of upsets. We had Tennessee upset Bama, which is not a surprise to us, right? It's just that Bama has such a stigma. You're surprised when they lose, right? We didn't think they'd finish in the top five. TCU beat Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State was supposed to have a really good year this year. I think both of them overtime games. Tennessee won at the end, but it translated all the way to Sunday. Man, we got the Dolphins, right? They beat the Buccaneers, and your G-men, the New York Giants, have beaten the Ravens, which I would call an upset, even though the Ravens are visiting. But not anymore. 5-1. You got to stop calling them underdogs, right? So,
That's right.
And wow, Padres beat the Dodgers, right? We picked the Dodgers on that one, and the Yankees.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees are playing right now
They are.
as we speak.
They are.
Rob McLean, we're gonna have to look at our phones and find out. We got another football game happening as we're pre-recording this Monday night for Sports Debate Tuesday. Now, when we do this, we usually end up looking at the organization. When you see the Giants improve, when you see Tennessee, whatever, and when you're surprised, like Nick Saban loses, you start looking at the organization. And as you continue to weave through the organization, it all comes down to the head coach. Who's the head coach? What is he doing? So for us, topic one, we're going to bring it to that. All right. This topic one, my attention generated from to it when I saw Deion Sanders on 60 Minutes. Now, 60 Minutes, as you know, doesn't interview a whole bunch of coaches. They usually keep they have their own 60-minute sports or whatever. But I think Deion Sanders was like one of the first college coaches I've seen on that in a long time, if infinitely ever, right? So he was out there and he's talking about the success of Jackson State right now. They remain undefeated, and he's changed the culture there. He's made it a winning culture. He's brought value. His star power has generated interest, and with interest comes money. So now money's in that program, and we see a lot of great players succeed as coaches, right? We've seen Steve Kerr do it, and we've seen a lot of people fail at it. We've seen Isaiah Thomas fail at it, right? We've seen Magic Johnson fail at it, and we're talking about the list of people, dream team people, greatest of all time people. So I guess the question is, Rob, me and you, we're going to go over some of the things that we think help former players crack the coaching code to become successful programs and successful coaches. So I'd like to start with one example. Star power. It goes a long way, because at the college level and at the professional level, in order to get some of these kids who already come in doing things really well, they have to give up some control. And if they don't recognize your star power, recognize your mental acumen or your superiority as an experienced coach, there will be the process stunts. The growth stunts, and the process slows down. And I think that's where Deion and Steve Kerr, some of these people brought to their attention. So I'd like you to take over. I'm gonna give you the floor. About time I shut up. Give me an example on where we think a lot of these players who just jump into coaching that have given them into success. We're gonna go the other way too, where some of them come up short.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So to be successful as a coach, moving from player to coach, I think a big part of it to be successful is to be disciplined. As a player, um, a lot of times as a player, I feel like we're very physically gifted. We're capable of doing things, maybe even things we don't even understand um, on the court, but we're still capable of doing them and making that high level of play. So, yeah, just watching video, being able to understand what you're doing helps a lot. So that when that question comes up or when that issue comes up when you are coaching, you're able to on the fly figure out, just like you would as a player, just figure it out. You hear that a lot from coaches. And I think that goes to a player type of a coach where they might not be able to explain how they want that skill performed, right? All the way down to what do my feet do? What do my hips do? What do my hands do? Because these are all the questions that players or people who you're coaching will have. It'll come out of left field. You have everything prepared, and then they ask you about something that you didn't even think about. Are you gonna just do it? Why not just do it and figure it out? Or is it gonna be, well, I'll help you learn. I'll help you figure that out. So I think a lot of it is just the awareness of yourself, of other people on the court, brings a lot of that. And I think like the people you're talking about being successful, like the Steve Kerr, I think he was a very aware player, knew about what he was capable of, what he was giving to the team. He might not be the superstar, but he's going to give his all in his role. That sounds like a coach before a coach even is on the court, like another coach on the court.
Do you think a lot of these people that become good coaches as players probably spend a lot more time with their coaches as players than the other people? Like Jason Kidd, his transition to the NBA was almost seamless because a lot of people consider him an on-court coach. But do you think that's because as a point guard, you have to liaise with basically the whole coaching staff on offense and this and that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's black and white. I'd say that definitely helps because you get into that mindset of where the coach is coming from, how they're seeing the court. Because, again, the coach can't physically be on the court, but they have to affect what's going on the court physically. So it's a very it's another role on the team. Instead of a coach is just a coach, is just another person there. They're just as important as the other 2 players on the court in beach volleyball, the other 5 players on the court in basketball, the other 6 in volleyball and indoor. So if you can treat, and this goes back to the respect that you were talking about, if the players can treat the coach like the coach is a part of the team, as opposed to the team has to perform almost because the coach asked us or because we're supposed to do it, right? Instead of it's a group, it's a community. Everybody's doing it for each other. We want to win for the coach as much as the coach wants to win for us. Like that's a culture, and yeah, I think that's what's missing a lot. When you're talking about coaches and players, just period, the respect to that someone else might know more than you is not always there. And I think that's a generational thing. I think when I was younger, a lot of kids were just, whether they had the gleam in the eye of I want to just be something better or something more, they just wanted to like take information, whatever it was. Maybe they have less video games, I don't know what it is, but there's something about nowadays, maybe it's I want it right now, there's something about putting that time in and getting that skill, to come to fruition, and I think that's really missing in a lot of sports where it's kind of just quick, get it as soon as you can, as fast as you want. The longer something takes, the more it's going to stick, the more it's going to be realistic, But yeah, going back to what we're talking about coaches and players, the players, just as the coaches, have to be receptive. It has to be a group, community, learning, trying to get better. And that's in any sport, that's in any profession. It can be in, a work-based profession. That's what's great about sport is it's not just about the sport. It's about creating better people.
Yeah. I think it's also enlisting people too, that share your philosophy, right? Like Deion Sanders didn't go into Jackson State himself. He had Coach Zimmer. He had, some great defensive minds, and he enlisted a bunch of people who are willing to take the cheaper paycheck, but at the same time, they're believing in something over there, and I really really appreciate that. Bill Belichick goes to the Patriots. The culture changed, right? You like what we saw this weekend with Robbie Anderson. He wouldn't do that to Belichick because there's more of a revere and respect that comes with that. You won't see a player do that to Belichick because the culture and respect is created from the get-go, right? If something circulates and comes full circle and winds up in that, it's something a lot of coaches don't see coming before they get fired. Matt Rule got fired, and Rule was Robbie Anderson's college coach.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the assistant coach, the guy who took over as the interim is like, okay, yeah, see how this works? Bye. So, but how it comes to that is a shame, and I think that leads to the next question: why are some of these coaches that actually come in with star power come up short? Right, like Isaiah Thomas or the Knicks, not that good. Who else did we say? Magic Johnson. Remember, he tried to coach for like a minute. I think ego has a lot to do with it. I also think when coaches start thinking like players, it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Like if someone misses a move or misses a layup or a certain move that the coach himself as a player would never in his wildest dream misses, that's when I think he fails as a coach. Because he's like, I do that all the time. Why can't he do that? And that's when you got to realize not everybody's built the same psychologically. Not everybody's built the same mentally. And for sure, people aren't built the same physically, right? He was a 6'8" point guard. Maybe size. Maybe just something physical has something to do with it. So that's my opinion. And I'm giving you back the floor an example of where I think some coaches, some players who become coaches, fall short. There's a huge ego thing, and there's also no, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say one more thing. There's also no willingness to self-examine. Some of them have that, like a media guy might criticize them and they might use the gladiators in arena speech as an escape, as a non sequitur, which is my least favorite thing and my most favorite thing at the same time, as an escapism, or not escapism, as a scapegoat. You've never done it, so you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Instead of, wait, maybe I should just answer the goddamn question.
Yeah.
Answer the question.
Because what they should be saying is, I watched somebody better than you do it, and you ain't doing it like him, so how good are you? Yeah. That's what they really should say. We can go up and down inside of our wheelhouse, but since they don't deserve us this week, That's right.
Look, I'm going to catch them at the end because I did watch F5VB, but the floor is yours. Give me an example on where you think some of these star players fall short as coaches.
Yeah, so I think it's just a lot of, just coaches in general. I think it's when you're not able to adjust. And now playing beach volleyball, I think the biggest thing I've learned is as much as you can be structured and can be disciplined, there's chaos will always come through, right? But the thing that beach volleyball I feel like has taught me is as correct as you feel, as everything is going perfectly right, you do everything right 10 times out of 10 times, right? And then the next 11th ball comes, and anything is possible. That's when you need to be adjustable, right? And to be adjustable and to be able to change, but also not to lose your principles, but to be able to, this isn't as important. It's not a principle. It's not something that defines me as a player or defines what I'm doing on the court. It doesn't take away from any skill that I'm doing, whether it's footwork or whether it's communication or breathing or posture or, my pillars that I have. If I don't break those, I can do anything, right? And that being able to be adjustable, what I really believe it is mastery, which is creativity at the end of the day, right? If you're able to hold down your basic principles but still be creative, that's mastery. It's not about being perfect. Perfection is not mastery, right? Perfection is perfection. right? Mastery is when you're creative, you're able to still accomplish a goal, but you just don't quite know how you're going to do it, right? You know how it needs to be done, you just don't know how you're going to respond to whatever action there is out there. And I think that's where a lot of coaches lose the ability to delegate because they're stuck on one track mind, which is let's talk football. It could be I gotta focus on offense, I gotta focus on defense. Could be basketball. Is it the transition? Is it the shooting? Is it the man on defense? We're talking about volleyball. Is it the transition? Is it the serve receive? Is it the serving? Is it the defense? Is it the scheme of defense? Right? So to not only still be accountable, but still to be flexible and to accomplish your goal without a set plan, right? I think that's where, as a coach, a lot of coaches falter.
Yeah, I totally.
They have an idea. If they can't make that idea happen, most coaches don't flip. Right? Oh, let me just try this again. And I think Brian Daboll. Okay, of course, they're Giants, and I love my Giants guy, but I've never seen a team with such little talent. Again, it's just because what I'm seeing, such little
Say
talent.
It with me, yeah.
Play like they are world beaters, right? And I think that comes back to who's putting the words in their head to make them think differently than what they are, right? And that goes back to giving the player the appreciation, but also the confidence to go out there and be yourself fully, right? And I think that's, again, back to the coaches. Are you getting all out of your players? Are you getting the very most? Right.
We got to have a conversation about the Giants defense because there are a bunch of no names that are just getting it in, right?
Yeah, that's nice.
Cool. So look, we're gonna tackle the NFL probably through our pick six and this and that because there's so much to talk about. And it was such a great weekend for New Yorkers like us. I mean, look, if there's anything I can't stand when some of these fans, like, they go so hard in the paint. They got to wear T-shirts. They got to wear cups. Hats. Yeah, double hats. Guys, take it easy. I saw the guy with the Buffalo Bills vest. They're cool, but if there's anything I can't stand, it's someone out there just repping their stuff like it's supposed to be. Just put it away. Just put the. So anyway, on the mixed martial arts. Topic 2, mixed martial arts. Rob, my man, we got UFC 280 coming up. 280. We're gonna go top to bottom on this. Maybe we'll get a challenger this week. I know Mark Fornicari is interested. He was on the podcast. I was on the podcast with Nolan Albrecht, who just won who won the Pottstown Rumble.
Nice.
Guy made more money winning 3 grass tournaments than some of the top 3 guys made on their whole tour. So who's the real professional, huh?
Right.
Anyway, Mark Fornicari came in, and I always light up when I see him. He's a mensch, so he came in and we talked about MMA. Tanisa Sri, Carly Wopat, she'll come Saturday night and watch it with me or whatever. Maybe a low watch party.
Nice.
MC Dav, one of my favorite rappers, he loves MMA. I'm like, dude, maybe you could invite that T City. Who's T City? I forgot his name again.
What are you talking about?
145 guy that fought Volkanovski.
Oh, Brian
Ortega.
Yeah, T City, baby.
Yeah, I see him all the time on his freaking skateboard.
Oh, yeah?
He came in a Hennessy's a few weeks ago, just chilling. He's a cool guy, man. He's tiny, but like his size is larger than life. The dude's a height, man. All right, so Rob, let's go top to bottom. Let's go picking winners. This is our UFC pick 6. Let's start with the champion, Charles Da Bronx Oliveira against Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
Islam Makhachev's man. Go ahead.
I think if he did not miss weight last fight, I would think that Charles Oliveira might get snuck up on this one because Islam is a scary dude.
He's got that scary Sambo strength. Although all those Dagestan fighters got it, right?
He does. And Charles is a guy who wants to feel out his opponent, see what he's got. In the last 3 fights that he's won, he's gotten clipped, gotten hurt, and then the guy tries to close, and he changes the fight in an instant. But I don't see that in Islam. I think Islam is an incredibly smart fighter because he has Khabib behind him, and Khabib is teaching him how to fight as he would fight if he could punch like Islam would punch.
Yeah, because Islam's like Khabib with better hands, right?
Yeah, and kick and all that extra.
I'm just
stuff.
trying to remember who the hell he lost to. He like right now he's 11-1 in the UFC.
It was a younger fight.
It was a decision. No, he got caught. It was a KO.
That's what I'm saying. It was a younger fight. It was an earlier fight, but it was yeah, he was upset with it too. Like he didn't get clean, like cold knocked out. He like came back and he was like, "Damn, like I got it. Yeah."
So he got
TKO. I have Charles Oliveira here. I think this is gonna be a bloody one.
What?
I think this is gonna.
You
be a
put me
bloody
through
one.
all that, and you're gonna pick Charles. You picking the Bronx?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So
the snake against the bear.
This is a tough pick for me because every time you think Charles is hit like his ceiling or like got as good as he's gonna get, he does something else and he impresses you. He shows you he has a chin. He shows you can submit people. He shows you his 8 points, right? Fist, elbows, knees, feet is on point. He leads. I think he leads the UFC in total submissions, right? Or submissions in the UFC, and he is 13-1 since he moved from 145 to 155. So, big up to him, dude. But with that being said, Makachev, like Nurmagomedov, Ankalaev who's on 205. I think he's undefeated too, or maybe only has one loss. There's this freakish strength where like they're stronger than people that their size, and the Bronx comes in a little heavy, so that's what makes it such an interesting topic. But I gotta give the rub to Islam on this. I think he's able to take him down, and I think he's able to avoid submissions. I think it goes 5 rounds. Yeah, because he's got good hands, but I don't think he's gonna. I just don't see either one of them finishing each other. But I will leave room. No, but I will leave room for the Bronx to come up with something nasty that we've never seen before.
No, this is not going 5.
No
way.
No, it's going 5.
I'm talking 3, maybe 4.
But people at home, pack a lunch, man. You're gonna be there. All right, so good. Good. We got a little dissension, man. I'm so glad. Come on, man. We can't just go every damn episode picking the same teams.
That's
all right.
Right.
All right. The other belts on the line: Aljamain Sterling defending against TJ Dillashaw. Now vote with select with your head and not with your heart.
Now. I ain't got no ill will against either one, but I'm gonna tell you, TJ's nice. TJ's good. I think Aljamain has the type of style that TJ doesn't like. A gritty on the ground. I'm going to take you down 5 rounds in a row, and we're going to see what happens. So, in that style of fight, I like Aljamain, which is why I'm taking Aljamain, because Aljamain plays a different type of fight, and you have to fight him that way. I would love to see TJ stay on the outside, but Aljamain's a bit longer. He's got kicks. If Aljamain's getting past Peter Yan, which I was surprised the second time, he gonna get past TJ.
The second time, not one of us picked him to win twice.
And that's why I'm like, he came in with a whole other game plan, and now he's got 2 types of game plans to go against TJ. I'm not saying he's gonna.
But that was a tight decision. Like a lot of people thought that went another way, but I had Aljamain on that one.
Yeah, I had Aljamain, especially as a champion and all that. Yeah, but I just think that TJ is not the type of guy like Peter Yan is. Peter Yan is a wrestler. Peter Yan does like to mix it up on the ground if he needs to. He knows how to stay off the ground. And he has great hands. TJ loves to stay on the feet, loves to move around, loves to keep it. So if he goes on the ground, it's just not going to be the same TJ. So that's the type of ideas I'm thinking now. Aljamain.
Yeah. I looked at TJ's lineup of fighters. It is savage. The dude has fought the best of the best and has found a way to beat the best of the best. But something I noticed, he has a pattern of feeling out people and doing what he wants to do, and he also has a pattern of weathering the storm of what people do best. Like Cody Garbrandt came out, guns blazing, and TJ was wobbly back to his corner. Lineker, Lineker had good knockout power, but he sized him up, and he had a lot of Dominic Cruz type movement. that was just really, really good. And that was one of the best schoolings I've ever seen, like a technical fighter give a power hitter to. Because Lineker was dangerous with both hands. But TJ, I could watch that match again tonight. TJ took this dude to school and let him know it too. The match with Dominic Cruz, figuring each other out. I personally thought TJ won that, but a lot of people thought Dominic won that. Now, here's the problem. This is why I'm not picking TJ. TJ... There's some storms you can't weather. If you weather Aljamain's storm, you're gonna get submitted the first round. Sandhagen got taken down early and was like, all right, my God, he's fierce, but if I'm gonna just hand fight and I'm gonna weather this out, because when he runs out of gas trying to finish me, I'm gonna F him up. And what happened? Sandhagen got submitted. So his gas tank is good and he can go all 5 rounds, but Aljamain's not getting paid by the hour, dude. That's 1 and 2. Aljamain's gas tank is good too.
Yep.
He's learned from gassing some of these matches, right?
Well, I mean, his style is a gassing style, so you got to be on his.
Wow. Yeah. Foe. No doubt. So we both picking Aljamain on that one, right? Let's go to fight number 3. Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley taking a step up in competition. I'm going to go first on this one. Sugar, Sean O'Malley, I am so sorry they did this to you. And I know you're like, I'll fight anybody on any time. He's on the phone. Yeah, on the internet, on Zoom. Yeah, look, that's why I'm here. I'm here to be the champ. But when he hung up, I'm sure when he hung up the phone or when he got off Zoom, he was like, man, this might be a little too early for me. I'm just going to save myself the long soliloquy on this one. It's too soon for the cat. It's too soon for the cat. Peter Yan is going to be a gatekeeper for that division until he gets the title back, until Aljamain loses it. I got Yan.
Yeah, I mean,
I got Yan by ugliness too.
Yeah, I mean, no. I got Yan, but I don't think it's going to be a close. I think it's going to be a close fight because Yan's going to have to take him down. I think they're going to stand and trade a little bit, and Jan's going to be like, whoa. Like, I'm not trying to trade with this dude. He's going to trade with me all night. His weakness is to get taken down, and that's what Jan's going to do. Jan is a professional fighter. He understands. His coaches understand there's a game plan we want to go after. Win or lose, we got to do something to take the advantage. They're going to try to take O'Malley down, and it's going to be on O'Malley to stay standing. Pedro Cunha did that same thing. He tried to take him down a lot. He did a great job, and he was calling him out too. You're not going to take me down. You're not going to take me down. So I think that if this fight stays on the feet, it's O'Malley. But if this fight goes to the ground or it's a mix of the two, it's Yan. And I think that that's more of a possibility, which is why I want to go with Yan. Wow. But I really do believe...
But you're kind of like 2-1 in this, right? 2 rounds to 1 in this, yeah.
I'm close.
Now, we know Sugar's got some power in his hands, and we've seen some one-punch knockouts and some kicks, and he's fierce. People run into that. I think he had this nasty head kick someone ran into or whatever during the show. Does he have anything hard enough to finish, to knock out Yan?
No.
And that's why neither one's going to finish either one, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a finish. I mean, I think Yan can finish O'Malley, but I don't think that's O'Malley's style. He's just the kind of guy who's going to squirm out of anything. Yeah. So I really think that if this is a stand-up fight, which sometimes people say, hey, we're going to just toe-to-toe and stand up. It happens.
I don't know if you got the reach, man. Because O'Malley's got reach and he knows how to use it.
That's what I'm saying. And he's got kicks. He knows how to feint in and out. It's really O'Malley's game to win or lose. Because if he knows how to, if he does his feints, because he stopped feinting when in his last fight. He didn't feint until about second round, right? And then it started to pick up a little bit, but
yeah. But listen, if O'Malley's even remotely even catching wind of this podcast, I'm gonna just say straight up, I'm rooting for the guy.
Yeah,
he's good for the sport. He's good for the weight class, and if he gets by Yan, imagine the fanfare and the trash talk. Like if Aljamain survives too, or even if TJ wins, just imagine whoever wins that belt and O'Malley's around the corner. Saying I'm coming for you. Imagine the ticket sales, imagine the promotion for a lighter weight class. And that's what Dana's been desperately seeking. That's why he traded up, Demetrius. Just winning wasn't enough, you got to
make it look good.
Yeah. Maybe that's what Dimitri needed. Like Anderson Silva needed Chael, right? To go out there and sell it, for both of them. So O'Malley can sell it for both of them. So, I mean, And I like his style. I think he's funny. I think he's personable. I'm rooting for the brother, but I just my brain says I can't. I mean, anyone got to respect my pick. That's Peter Yan. Sorry. Let's go to fight number 4 of the pick 6. Beneil Dariush versus Mateusz Gamrot. Now, I'll go first on this one. Dariush surprises people. You don't think he's that good, and all of a sudden he gets past this guy, that guy. Big smile on his face. The end of the match, whether it's a decision, he's not even tired. If he gets a finish, it's like his face, he saw it coming. The confidence oozes on this guy. He also won 7 in a row. I'm going. I know a little bit about Gamrot. I know he's 4-1 in the UFC, and I know 3 of those 4 wins were finishes. So I know he's a go-getter, but gotta go with the vet on this one. Dariush. Gotta go Beneil.
Dude, I absolutely love this fight.
Don't you? Could be fight of the night.
This is going to be the best fight.
It could be fight of the night. And Dariush desperately needs someone to make that fight of the night.
And this going to be that guy.
Yes, I think that's his dance partner.
Let me tell you, I think that Beneil Dariush, again, an amazing specimen of a fighter. I think he's doing exactly what he should be doing with his body type and body size. And I just think he needs to kind of change it up a little bit, because what's going to happen is you're going to find a guy like a Gamrot who's versatile enough to be able to defend your takedowns.
Right.
And then he might not be the best stand-up, but he's got a better stand-up than Beneil.
Yeah,
so
he does.
That's what and this is the things that I try to look at now is
fight of the night,
it really is. Who is going to stalemate the other person's, who can stalemate the other person's strength? Right. If Beneil Dariush can take you down and lay on you for 25 minutes, go do a 15 minutes in this case. But if he can't, what's he going to do after that?
Right.
And Gamrot, he is the most sneakiest, surprising fighter. If you say that Beneil Dariush is surprising, this guy is surprising. Because it's unbelievable. You'll think he's losing this fight, and then you go to the scorecard and you're like, what the hell? This guy's up by like 30 punches. What the hell?
Yeah.
It's insane. So I'm telling you, this is going to be a crazy, sneaky fight. Nobody's going to know. Nobody cares about Beneil Dariush. Nobody knows about this guy, Gamrot. This is going to be the best.
It's going to steal the show,
dude.
This is gonna be the best and fight. Look who dropped in on our live, Mark Funakari. This is why I came in. He's picking with you. He says Islam's going night-night. And Dillashaw, he says Dillashaw on no juice. Tesla Beneil with the decision. Tesla, you can't control it. It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. Let's go to fight number 5. Caitlin Chukagian versus Mano Fiorot. I like Caitlin. She's trying to find her way back to the title. Fiorot is I mean, I've only seen her fight twice, but the small sample size I have, she's the girl's good in everywhere. But I gotta go. I like Caitlin Chukagian as far as like flyweights. I think she's the best constant pressure fighter in the division. Just in your face all the time, unless Jessica Andrade like moves up. Look, there's Valentina Shevchenko and there's everybody else. But in everybody else, just in the lead of that pack, I'll go Caitlin. And I'm gonna go Caitlin on this one.
Yeah, I think, and I don't mean to, push down any weight divisions or anything, but for me, it's still like the top names in the women's division are that for a reason. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the people that are still trying to come up, they're just not quite experienced yet. No. So I'm still going to go with
on the pay-per-view. It's his first match on the pay-per-view too, dude.
But I really like her competitor, and I think in a year or so, like this fight could be a real fight. Yeah. But I think for now it'll be Chukagian,
right? And since it's a pick 6, we pick one off the prelims. So let's go prelims finals.
There's a couple
also,
of good ones.
Ankalev is on this too. Remember I talked about Ankalev? Yeah. Let's see what our man says. I think someone he just posted respect on this fight, but no reason Brady versus Bilal should be on the prelim.
Yeah, that's a prelim.
Thank you.
That's insane.
I think the prelim finale is the way for people to sell the pay-per-view. Well, like every good pay-per-view has a prelim. Like remember when Uriah Faber was like, dude, put me on the prelim finals. It sells. People are like, wait, I ain't bought a pay-per-view yet. So let's go winner real quick on this one or not. Sean Brady. Oh my God, 15-0, 5-0 in the UFC. Up against we had a conversation about constant pressure. Bilal Muhammad is that guy, but Brady's that guy. I gotta go Brady. And every time I pick against Bilal, he wins, and I guess I'm gonna have to
You
eat
gotta
that
eat
hot
this
L
one.
again.
You
Yeah,
gotta eat this one
Yeah.
because I think this is exactly what you're saying before, or what we were just talking about with the, he's a new guy, and I think he's just a little too soon. A little too soon because I've seen him fight before, and I like what I see, but he's fighting. He fights a good fight. He doesn't bring that next level. So I think for this fight, he's gonna have to bring next level. I don't think he's gonna bring that, and that's when a guy like constant pressure gets in your face, makes you make bad decisions.
Who you got?
I have Bilal. Yeah.
So good, so good, dude. Yes, I'm gonna get Mark and Tanisha Sri and some people to do pick six. Maybe my sponsor could put like a winner take all thing at the end for challenging the host.
Sure.
Beat the host type thing. Speaking of beat the host, challenging the host, we're going to our NFL pick six. Sorry, got to do this in between. Hey, let's go Buffalo.
No.
Let's go. Oh, look how it matches the shirt. But not my head. My head is flat. This thing's all pinned out. So pick six. Last week, Trevor Crabb challenged the host. Taylor Crabb walked away with his tail tucked between his legs. Said he was going to do it. Guess he didn't have time. Or if he could shoot out a egg out his ass, he could. He chickened out. Taylor Crabb, kidding. I love you, and I know you're doing some great things going into Huntington, which will be your last tournament. Trevor was 1-5. I was 2-4. Rob, Mr. 500, keep it McLean. McLean was 3-3 because his G-men came through, and you would have been 4-2 if you picked my Buffalo Bills.
Either team decided to work that. It's okay. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was going to be. What was the most watched game?
I'm sure.
It's probably going to be like the most watched game of the season,
Because
right?
everybody wanted 100 points.
Yeah, they were looking for like a whatever, and the refs are like, "Calm down."
Yeah.
Offensive pass interference. Calm down.
False start.
Yeah, right. False start. Holding. The refs can call holding on every play. They're like, yeah. I mean, their stupid
That
little
was a
flags ruined the game. But look, as a Buffalo fan, I was glad to see that that they play defense in the beginning. Right, the first drive, Buffalo they fumbled when they were about to score, and then on the other end, Mahomes threw an INT when he was about to score. So I was like, okay, defenses are like, we ain't just giving up the goods. But
Yeah.
the thing I like about Mahomes is when he needs a field goal, he can drive and get it. And the thing I like about Allen is when he needs a field, he drives and gets a touchdown. His mind is wired different.
It's true.
3rd and long at his own 1 yard line, gets out, and then how about the giddy up play? How about it jumping over that dude? You knew that was going to be on the ESPN top 10 plays just on principle alone. So, nationally televised game. Congratulations to the Buffalo Bills, and I expect to see these guys in the AFC Championship game. And this time, I'm hoping it'll be decided at Rich Stadium. Pick six. All right, we got some people pick six in with us, and I'll tell you about them later. But for now, Falcons at Bengals. Atlanta Falcons at the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll go first in this one. Atlanta really, really sour and crass 2 weeks ago about what happened to them. Took it out on the Niners. Shows that they're behind their coach. Shows that they're behind their system. Marcus Mariota has been a pleasant surprise despite their win-loss record, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, wow. But how do you pick against this dude? How do you pick against Burrow? Tight game. If this were in Atlanta, I'd pick the Falcons. And for the scientists out there that don't understand why a certain zip code makes one team better than the other, take lessons this Sunday. I'm going Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati I think is easy. I think they're starting to get all their wheels going in the right direction. And, the Falcons, I think they probably blew their load. They had the best possible chance at beating one or two more teams the rest of the season. I think they're playing great football, but
they really are, dude.
Decimated with injuries. They have like one wide receiver that they trust, and it's just
Who you got?
pretty rough. Yeah, Bengals easy.
Cool. You're gonna go first on this one. Colts visiting the Tennessee Titans.
Oof.
Speaking of a team decimated with injuries.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. Yeah, it's smart to go with the Titans, I think. But, I think the Colts found something this past weekend. And I'm going to go with the Colts because I really had high hopes for them this season. And I think this is a week they could definitely turn around. Tennessee is a team they could definitely beat. So I'm going to go with the Colts.
I'm going to go with the Colts. They're a team full of comeback kids, coached by a head coach who's the king of the comeback kids. In fact, I think the biggest comeback in the NFL, 35-3, Buffalo. He was a backup quarterback against Houston the first round. Came back from 35-3, 140-138. So that's the greatest comeback in the history of the NFL. So you got also the greatest comeback in the history of college was Maryland against Miami, 31-0. He came back and won that. So he himself as a quarterback has engineered two comebacks. Probably uses that story all the time for his players, plays it up and makes the impossible seem possible. They do have a victory over Kansas City, and I think they'll have a victory over the Titans this Sunday. So I'm going Colts with you on that one. And we're both going Bengals, huh? All right.
Yeah.
So Jets, the only New York team playing this weekend, is visiting Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. Talk to me, Robbie. What's up? As I go on my ESPN app to find out who's winning the Monday night game.
and the Yankees.
Yes.
I think the Jets are playing some great football, man. I really like what I saw from Zach Wilson last week. Like, man, he looks like a second-year quarterback who has had time to look and read and understand the offense. He looks really smooth, looks really easy running the plays. The players look like they have an extra step to them. They have all the pieces they need around them. Their defense looks absolutely unstoppable. They have a number one corner. They have a best line in the game. I'm going to go with the Jets, man.
You're going with the Jets. Jets. Everything you said, parroting your sentiments as far as like the change in the culture of the organization. I mean, they already know they're not winners, but they know if they remain fighters, eventually wins going to come. That head coach stood out in front of the media and said he's taking receipts on everyone that doubted them. And when you do that, you know your job's on the line because of what happened last year. But if you put yourself and your job on the line and your players see you do that, they can respond two ways. They could be like, this guy's crazy and he's out of here. Or, dude, this guy's doing this for us. Let's do this for him. The same way as a G-man, you saw what Jim Fassel did when you were a young pup watching the Giants come up. This guy's 1-3 and says, we're going to the playoffs. I guarantee it. And they ended up going to the Super Bowl that year, losing to the Ravens. So I see a lot of that this year. So for all of the reasons I agree with you, except the net result on this one, I got to go Broncos. Mile High is a very, very difficult place to play. And Russell Wilson, they're 13-13 right now, but I think they're going to find a way to win this. The Jets somehow always find a way to lose games like this, even though recently, right? Remember when they used to find ways to lose some of these games, and now they're finding ways to just win?
Yeah, but I mean, honestly,
Put
this
a
is
whooping
the
on
best quarterback they've had in like the last 15 years, dude.
They cheeseheaded the Packers in Green Bay. Did you see that picture?
Yeah, I did. And
you saw the cheesehead?
Wait.
No. I got a picture. Come on, I got to come equipped with a picture, my brother. Hold up. Where is it? Where is he? Let's just take a look at this. Where you at, man? Ah, there he is. That's the cheese, baby. We all about that cheese, bruh. All right, so you're picking Jets. I'm going with the Broncos.
Jets, yeah.
Game 4, Seahawks at Chargers. I'm actually going to this game. I will be in attendance at this game. Chargers, you go first. Yeah. Chargers hosting the Seahawks.
I mean, it's going to be the Chargers. I think the Seahawks played great last week. I think they are not giving up on their coach, but yeah, the Chargers are just a different level.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers on this one, even though I do have a soft spot in my heart for Geno Smith. I mean, my family's from West Virginia, so, even though they went to academic schools, Harvard and whatever, they always watch West Virginia football, and they always watch West Virginia basketball. Coach Huggins and that other coach, I'm glad, who's gone from a few years ago. Just a horrible dude, man. But Geno Smith, I used to love watching him just light up the scoreboard. I remember him in Texas Tech. It was like 70-63, so I know the guy could throw. And, of course, he was a Jet for a little bit, then a Giant. So I just wanted him to have a fair shake. So now, no excuses. You got a good coach in Pete Carroll, defensive-minded coach. You have Metcalf, who's still one of the premier receivers. So this is definitely his last hurrah, and I think he's going to go out the same way other quarterbacks who fail constantly are going to go out. He's not winning this one. I'm going Chargers. All of that just to pick Chargers, right? Okay, right? I just did a Rob. Game 5, Chiefs against. Oops, sorry about that. Chiefs visiting the San Francisco 49ers. I'm gonna go first on this one. Chiefs do not like to lose, period. Every time they lose, there's all kinds of drama. Losing to the Colts, totally unnecessary. Losing to the Bills, in their mind, in their heart of hearts, they still felt they had that. They're going to fix what's broken. They're going to beat the Niners, who are injury depleted.
Yeah, I think the Niners, again, had a rough week last week. Chiefs have a template to how to beat them, and they also have the best quarterback in the league. So
You're going Chiefs, too?
Chiefs.
Okay, nice. Last game, you go first. Dolphins visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Talk about hurt. But, I mean, this really depends on if Tua plays. I don't think he's going to play. I think they're going to keep him out for a couple more weeks. And so I have the Steelers. I think their defense is going to be good enough. Hopefully they'll get pieces back. And, Kenny Pickett looked good, man. He looked solid. And I think he's going to improve going forward.
Yeah. How long is he out? Is he back
in.
this weekend? Yeah.
I would hope,
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky came in, looked really good, and maybe that's what he needed to lose a job to come back and to fight, because that's the best he's always played is when he has to come in for somebody else, not I have the job, it's mine to lose. It's no, I have no, ill will. It's just I'm going out
He
there
looks
trying
so
to play
good
the
out
best
there,
football.
dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Even in the loss to Buffalo, you saw, just as a coach from a different sport, I saw some bright spots, and I'm sure Mike Tomlin did. I mean, if I'm sitting here talking about this pick six on this last pick, if I'm going to spend time talking about the coaches, it's already a testament to how much I fail as far as not watching the injury report in these players, right? You got Pickett, who may or may not play. You got two of them may or may not play. And I know if one of those two things don't happen, I got to go Miami. I just think it's a home game, and I think their coach, they got a great belief system in this young, bright mind. And Mike Tomlin knows something about that, right? Because he came into the league as a young, bright mind himself, young looking, and already commanded the respect where the players that come in, unless you're Antonio Brown, of course. Didn't mean to mention him this week. I wanted to take the week off, I swear to God, but going with the home team on this, it's tight. It's tight. Because I don't think Trubisky's going to beat Miami. And even if Pickett plays, I'm not sure he does either.
Yeah, I'm going to go Steelers.
What?
Yeah.
What? You crazy as hell, man.
Sometimes.
Yes, it's I don't know karate, but I know crazy. All right, so now we go to topic 4, my personal favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, I will take you to, as I guess, dial it up. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you to shame or not to shame. That's me. And go.
Shame. 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 Shame.
Come on, Robbie. We do. Come on, that's the best. Dude, that's like the best intro ever for like a topic. On this week's To Shame or Not to Shame, Robbie Anderson got ejected, all right, by his own team for bad conduct towards a coach. And we found out later on, subsequently traded. Shame, as far as the shame, is shame on Robbie Anderson or shame on the coaching staff? It's lack of tolerance. Floor's yours. Go, baby.
Yeah, again, I don't know what was said, what happened. I think as a professional, you need to be professional. But at the end of the day, Carolina's been terrible for a while, and they haven't been doing anything good for a while. They got Baker Mayfield there, supposed to have a new quarterback there. 2 quarterbacks are supposed to at least fight for a job. Something good's going to come for it. They barely have one quarterback. Baker Mayfield's playing like trash. I mean, it's a pretty bad situation. Your head coach just got fired. The guy who trusts in you, the guy who probably got you to get to go there, right, in free agency,
just
college
got
coach,
fired. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And so now, you're not really getting the ball. He had just gotten a touchdown in that game.
Right.
Right. And I'm sure he can't be upset about that. Maybe he's upset about not getting the ball, which again is a wide receiver thing. But at the end of the day, you got to have respect for your coaches, because that's only going to have ripple effects through the team. And that's really where the issue goes. So I would say it's shame on Robbie, because you can have a multitude of times to have that conversation, to express your feelings on what's going on. Don't destroy the team. Don't destroy what the team's journey and goal is.
No doubt. As I go my 60 seconds on this to shame and not to shame. I believe the only score they had was actually a defensive touchdown. So Robbie had some good catches, but I don't think he found the end zone because they had 10 total points, but the 7 of them was whatever. Well, I follow Robbie Anderson with the Jets, and I know he's made some spectacular catches with the Jets, and he's always had this big smile on his face, and he's always looked like he kept the mood light. And this is a complete surprise to me because I got to see this snarling, angry version of a person that not only had disagreements with the system, certainly not disagreements with Matt Rule being fired, who was his college coach, but then has the gall to approaching a coach is one thing, right? But the way you approach a coach, if you're in his face and if you have this challenge your defender stance, you know what I'm saying, where it looks aggressive, like you're gonna do stuff, can't tolerate that. Can't go back. I mean, right? That is 100%. As we count down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm gonna go each second. Shame 3, shame 3, shame 2, 1. Boom. That's my honk. But I wanted to show you after the countdown. I wanted to show you a picture of how close he was in this dude's face. So,
I've seen it.
Sorry, let's do this. Check that out.
Yeah,
if you're a coach, first of all, you're going to be like, yo, you need to take 3 steps back, man. I don't know why you open my grill like you're going to do something, you know? So you have to do what you have to do because we talked about Draymond last week, and certainly, there are levels to the intensity of this, but that can't stay. You can't go to the locker room and come back like that's all right. That was a position coach, but you don't do that to any coaching staff. Imagine if he did that to Bill Belichick. He would have got kicked off the planet, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll go back to what we were saying before. He wouldn't, because his level of respect for Bill is different, right? So he wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean,
have you seen any player do that in Bill Belichick's career?
Yeah, I mean, because you're just asking for it at that point. Some teams you might get traded. In Bill Belichick's thing, you'll probably get traded to the worst team in the league and then waived. You know, so
yeah,
it's just different because again, I think that's going back to what we were saying earlier about the culture. You know,
Bill wouldn't even take a game ball from someone. Bill, he tied someone with like most wins, 325 wins, and the guy who scored tried to said, "This is for you, coach," and Bill looked at him. He said, "Here, take the ball." Bill's like, and then Bill's assistant took the ball and then told the guy, go sit down.
Oh, yeah.
Bill wouldn't even take the ball. So imagine if someone got in his face, he wouldn't even take a positive thing. So Bill ain't taking that negative thing. Mm-mm. Aaron Wexler, what's up? Talking about he's got a book coming out. And I'm gonna definitely send a link to like his opening thing on Instagram. He's gonna take some Q&A and dude, Geeter, like all these legends in whom he's associated with. Good for you. Will be there, and I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to that. But for now, we move on to our next topic because this is supposed to be 50 minutes. I'm so sorry, Rob.
You're good.
I bring you to our next topic. Our next topic is quick question, right? Quick question.
Shame.
Yeah, not shame. We're gonna do this. That's better. Thank God for the power of editing. For the people watching this live, you will never see it again until the edit comes out. So we're going to quick question, Rob. What was the bigger upset over the weekend? Tennessee over Bama or TCU over Oklahoma State?
Tennessee over Bama.
I'm going to go Tennessee over Bama. Quick question. Phillies or Padres? That's who they're facing each other. 7-game series. Who wins this?
Padres.
Padres on a roll, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Juan
I'll go
Soto.
Padres too.
Juan Soto, baby.
I'm going to go to... Actually, I picked the Phillies and Yankees to meet each other in the finals, but Padres changed everything. Mm-hmm. Quick question. The game got postponed tonight, so I just been informed. So it's rain delay. It's postponed, nuts. So the Yankees are not playing tonight. Dope. So deciding game tonight. But my quick question... Thank God, because it leads into our quick question. Right. Do the Astros beat whomever wins between the Yankees and Guardians, regardless?
Yes.
The answer is yes. I agree with that.
Yeah.
As the playoffs go, the strike zone gets smaller. And when you got someone like Altuve who already has a tiny strike zone, you have to throw over the plate, and when you do, he's going to get you. This is why he's hitting like 400 plus in the playoffs, right? Tiny dude with no damn strike zone. Give me a break, dude. What's a worse name, the Commanders or the Guardians?
Commanders.
Commanders. No, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm a Marvel guy. I can't be too mad at that.
Not too terrible.
All right, quick question. Will LeBron, Westbrook, and Davis make it a whole season together?
As in on the same team or injured?
On the same team.
No.
No, I think Westbrook will be gone. And that's sad because then they're listening to the media too much. Okay, Eagles over the Cowboys. They beat the Cowboys this weekend. Was that good Eagles or bad Cowboys?
Bad Cowboys.
I'll go good Eagles. I really like what they did, you know.
They threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah, well, the Eagles defense might have something to do with that too. Would the Cowboys have won if Dak played? Quick question.
Yeah, no doubt.
No, I thought it'd be worse. Quick question. Brady goes to a wedding instead of traveling with the team on Saturday. Big deal or no big deal?
Say it again. Sorry.
Brady goes to a wedding, Robert Kraft's wedding, instead of traveling with the team on Saturday. And they end up losing to Miami. Big deal or no big deal?
No big deal.
I go no big deal.
Tom is not the problem in Tampa.
No. But if you ask any coach out there, they say big deal. But for Jay and Rob here on Sports Debate Tuesday, we both say no big deal. Guys, that's the end of Quick Question. But before we go, going to speak a little bit in our wheelhouse. We'll explore it because they deserve it. First of all, congratulations to Qatar. Sharif Yunusi and Ahmed Tejan. You guys are absolute savages. Bronze medal to consecutive FIVB titles. And you beat a whole bunch of Americans in route 2. So kudos to Troy Field and Buttinger, specifically Buttinger, who finds a way to win with everybody. Just professional, you know, a not too hot, not too cold. One of the most ignored great players out there. Troy, you got some work to do, so I'm not giving you the rub this weekend. But big up to Miles Partain and Andy Benesh. They played Qatar. It was 22-20, 22-20, and some controversial calls. Benesh pulled his hands back on a joust, and he pulled his hands back, and Sharif open hand tipped it, and the referee didn't call it. So ref swallowed his whistle, but it is what it is. Congratulations to Evan Corey and Logan Weber participating in their first big tournament. But a huge, huge shout out because in the sake of this whole coaching thing, like players who become coaches, huge shout out to Jose Loyola. I've always sounded like I've always insulted him, and I don't mean to insult him. I've always said that I never considered him a real coach. I consider him a winner. But if I'm wrong, and he's a real coach, he's a real coach. But if I'm right, he's certainly enlisted good people around him, and he's done some terrific things with USA Volleyball because he's a head coach right there. And we've desperately wanted the men's scene to put a dent in the FIVB kink in their armor, and they've done that. So big up to you guys, and congratulations. Quick question by Aaron Wexler. Will AVP money go up next year? We're not answering that. We don't do that because Rob's an active player, and he ain't trying to give some answer that's gonna have people be like, you're canceled. No, I'll answer that in private for both of us. In fact, I'll answer that now. The answer is yes. I think it will. I think as they continue to market and whatever, and players are doing their part promoting themselves.
Well, I mean, the answer is going to be yes because they're trying to involve betting. So once betting gets legalized,
and they have to because they're not going to pay. They can't have an athlete in a position where they get paid more to throw the game. They'll make more money to throw a game, right? At first prize is $20,000, and someone betting is like, "Yo, here's 30.
Yeah, here's
30. You."
It's not that far away.
No, your job, your profession has to be rich enough where you can't be bought like that. This is dangerous. And I'll say on the record too, AVP needs to get the hell out of juniors if they're gonna if betting and Bally's is whatever you can't be having AVP first in that mix. They got to get the hell out of juniors, or figure that out.
Yeah.
They don't see it and they don't know no one knows what the hell I'm talking about right now. But watch this episode later. But Rob, is there anything you'd like to say to Aaron Wexler, Mark Fornicari, or the Volleyball Nation, or our Sports Debate Nation, which, by the way, is three times bigger than the Volleyball Nation? Our SDT Nation's gotten big, man. Anything you want to say to our people before we leave?
Just stay happy, stay healthy, yo.
Oh, my God. Rob might love you guys, but I don't love any of you guys. In fact, I can't stand you. In fact, I speak for this man and myself. We're both starving. We are hungry AF, okay? So for Rob, keep it McLean, who loves you. And for me, who's kind of, man, I don't know. Ask me again a week from now. This is Sports Debate Tuesday. This is episode 93. We're going to hit my music. But for now, gentlemen, we're out. Come check out the Option Podcast on OptionVB.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify, and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear.